welcome back to our channel. If you're new here, please subscribe. I'd really love that. If you're returning, how you doing? What we're going to be talking about right now is some ideas that were sent in by you guys and also some current events from over in the UK that were sent in by a very good friend of mine who lives over there. Okay. So I have some pictures that were sent in and from a community member, and she said, I opened this can, yuck. I emailed them and I have other cans from this batch and expiration date. It had a peculiar odor. I know you have cats whom you love dearly like I do. I wanted to share with you, and if you think others may be interested. I feed this flavor to all because my kitty with digestive problems can handle it without getting sick. The flavor is Fancy Feast classic chicken pate. Huh. I don't give my cats wet food. I only give them dry food because quite a few of my guys have digestive problems and sensitive stomachs. I feed my guys, the food is called Diamond and it's grain free. And it's, oh geez, it's grain free maintenance. I think it's for elder cats. So you might want to look into that for what you're feeding them for their dry food. Make sure it's grain free because that has a lot to do with their digestive systems. Now these suggestions come in from another community member. She said, not only stock food, but also pet supplies, medicines and medical supplies, defense items, gardening supplies, tape, rope, automotive supplies, home repair tool items, water purification supplies, clothing, shoes, and multiple supplies, including coats, winter wear, face masks, gloves, maybe a hazmat suit, CB radio, walkie-talkies, baby supplies if you have littles, water catchment system if possible in your area, water purification tabs. Do not catch water from shingled roofs. The chemicals can hurt you. Metal roofs are fine. If not, set up a tarp system in some trees and search for food grade blue bins in your area. She said, make sure all of your doors, windows lock and function correctly. If you want privacy on your home, windows, get cling style auto tint and install on all of your windows. It makes it harder for people to see inside your windows and it's easy to install. Measure your windows, measure the tint as close as possible to size. Get Dollar Tree spray bottle, put a mild shampoo in, just enough to make the water soapy. Clean your windows with ammonia-free cleaner and spray soap and water on it. Take an old like debit card, credit card, etc. with an X-Acto knife from the craft department and run bubbles out to the edges with the card to smooth it out. Use card as leverage around the edges and use X-Acto knife to cut off the excess. Spray a little soap on top of the tint to help it slide easier at a slight tilt. Run as much liquid bubbles out. Soak up liquid with paper towels. As it dries, it darkens slightly. Thank you. She said, with the cling style, it leaves no sticky residue and peels right off. I found ours in the auto department at Walmart. All right. Thank you so much for that. Thank you very much. So listen to this. Another community member wrote in. She said, here it comes, cashless society begins, and so will the trickle effect. According to the National Park Service, Shenandoah National Park will transition to a fully cashless system on July 1st. The park will only accept debit and credit card payments as well as mobile or electronic payments for entrance and campground fees. In addition, visitors can pay for entrance, campground, and permitting fees online for their trip. All park bookstores and concession facilities like gift shops, lodging, waysides, Restaurants will continue to accept cash. The service said that moving to a cashless system reduces the amount of time park staff spends accounting for cash, improves accountability, and reduces the risks, and increases the amount of fee revenue available to support critical projects and visitor services. So now we get to the UK news. And this comes in from a very good friend of mine who lives there in the UK. She said, so as we know, things have been escalating in the Middle East. The other week, or maybe a couple of weeks ago, our contentious Prime Minister Keir Starmer made some announcement that the UK is ready for war or some such garbage. Is that right? Maybe his military forces are ready for war, but the citizens certainly are not, which is usually always the case, isn't it? So straight away, other news outlets start publishing articles that the UK is not ready for war. You know how it goes. They like trying to confuse people with articles that have completely opposite statements. Anyway, there have been reports of UK fighter jets being sent over due to Iran getting involved, but Starmer has urged for de-escalation. As far as I'm concerned, the UK should not be interfering in this, and I'm not the only one with that sentiment either. But on the other hand, you can't let a country like Iran start throwing their weight around either. Now, an article has come out saying that a leading defense advisor has issued a stark warning that members of NATO are not ready for war, along with articles stating that the UK Chancellor Rachel Reeves has insisted that the UK is not at war. So we'll see what happens with this over the next coming days. But as usual, the MSM will be stirring the pot, as they say. In other news, some sort of riot broke out in Salford, an area of Manchester. I saw an article that's up to 60 masked youths were causing mayhem. 2 men, aged 18 and 19, were arrested on suspicion of possession of a bladed article. A 16-year-old girl, who cannot be named for legal reasons, has been charged with assaulting an emergency worker. Police said bricks were thrown at officers as vehicles were damaged and burnt out. An officer said, "We are aware of speculation online that this incident is linked to immigration. This is categorically incorrect. The force has not commented further." Okay. So apparently this disorder started after the funeral of a teenager who died in a crash back in May. There has also been riots occurring in Northern Ireland. There were riots out for 3 nights in a row, and then a further riot kicked off earlier this week. Hundreds of masked rioters attacked police and set homes and cars on fire 20 miles west of Ballymena during the previous 2 nights. 32 officers were injured. The violence initially erupted after 2 14-year-old boys were arrested and appeared in court, accused of serious SA on a teenage girl in Ballymena. The charges were read via a Romanian interpreter to the boys, whose lawyer told the court that they denied the charge. Police are investigating the damaging of property in Ballymena as racially motivated hate crimes. The violence was live streamed on TikTok, came only hours after a senior PSNI officer said police were actively investigating those posting hate on social media. And that's according to the Belfast Telegraph, and a police chief said that the disorder is absolutely race motivated. She said, "As I don't live in Northern Ireland, I don't know what the real truth is regarding the rioting that has occurred. I have seen various articles popping up with headlines that these riots are anti-immigration, etc. Again, the MSM is stirring it up with headlines like this. And an article was published with Nigel Farage, warning that riots will sweep across Britain due to the decades-long failure to control immigration. In an email I sent you some weeks ago, I told you that these immigrants are coming over harassing women and doing worse to them. Over the weeks, I have been frequently seeing articles and videos all over YouTube and other social media about incidents like this. These people may be allowed to do this stuff in their own countries, but they're not in their own countries are they? So they should be observing the rules and laws of the country they're in. Another thing is that they do get away with it by walking free from court, and they're probably carry on doing what they're doing. Women are no longer safe now while you've got these migrants walking the streets, and that's not just here in the UK either. People are absolutely pissed off with it, along with the uncontrolled immigration. So what do the police and the government think is going to happen? And of course, when trouble breaks out, the police and the media are straight away calling it racially motivated and anti-immigration. There was a case a few days ago where an illegal immigrant from Afghanistan who R-worded a 15-year-old girl, and he started kicking off in court after he was handed a 12-year extended sentence. His lawyers claimed he was not aware of cultural differences as his defense. Oh, that's BS. Yes, he did. This one is seriously lame bullshit excuse for what he did to a minor. Anyway, I'm going to stop here. Yeah, no kidding. That is just crazy. He didn't know cultural differences. Well, then maybe he should. Oh, I'm not even going to say it. Not even going to say it. Thank you, Amanda. All right, I love you. Email me later. Okay. All right, guys, that's all for this video. I will see you guys in the next one. Okay, you stay safe, you stay positive, you keep prepping, and as always, fear less and God bless. Ciao.